There is a saying in a popular yoga system of teaching, where the eyes go, the body follows. Our perceptions shape our world. What one tool can simultaneously shift the perception of a population in a heartbeat? What one tool can cause a population to go into a frenzy and make irrational choices? And what is one of the most dominant human emotions which drives all behaviour? Fear. Take a moment to consider the implications of close to 7 million people simultaneously being told they will have to stop life as they know it for the 6th time in a row, beginning in 4 hours. Within the space of 15 minutes, most of the 7 million people get the information. On the surface, people go about their day, but internally, it's a storm. A wave of emotion sweeps across the state. Text messages buzz, emails circulate, phone calls are made, social media posts trend, schools shut down, performing arts events cancelled, weddings, funerals, births, travel, graduations, reunions, all affected. Supermarkets become frantic. 7 million people have to make new arrangements again. All because the information was relayed via the electronic medium that this is what has to happen. And then more attention goes to the very medium from which the information came from. Questions arise. What will happen next? How long this time? What other thing has that much power on the minds of humans than the power of the media? The power to say what reality millions of people will live from that moment until more information is delivered via the same medium. Have you considered the gravity of this situation? How fear can be so easily generated within millions of people? Then comes the daily sermons, the focus on cases and deaths, the new variants, the exposure sites, more fear. The more fear generated, the more the media gets used by the people. It's a repeating cycle, and the uncertainty perpetuates a state of powerlessness. Where the eyes go, the body follows. How is this relevant, you might ask? A stressful situation can trigger a cascade of stress hormones that produce well-orchestrated physiological changes. The stress response begins in the brain. When someone confronts a danger, the eyes or ears or both send information to the amygdala, an area of the brain that contributes to emotional processing. The amygdala interprets the images and sounds. When it perceives danger, it instantly sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus activates the sympathetic nervous system by sending signals through the autonomic nerves to the adrenal glands. These glands respond by pumping the hormone epinephrine, also known as adrenaline, into the bloodstream. When we hear or read frightening messages daily, it takes a physical toll on our body. Our body and brain are highly sensitive to suggestion. The more we hear something, the more it becomes central to our reality. So the question is, how can we use this powerful mechanism to our advantage and empower ourselves? One tool is self-hypnosis. Rather than allowing the power of the media and other people to capture our mind and heart, we can consciously choose to ingest an empowering message into our nervous system. let's look at some science around the effectiveness of self-hypnosis to influence our biochemistry. A study published in the Journal of Pediatrics in 2007 had the aim to describe the effect of treatment with self-hypnosis for youth with recurrent headaches. A retrospective review was conducted of outpatient clinical records of 178 consecutive youths referred to the Behavioural Pediatrics program from 1988 to 2001 for recurrent headaches. All patients were taught self-hypnosis for self-regulation. Intensity, frequency, and duration of headaches before, during, and after treatment were measured. Outcomes included number and frequency of visits, types of medication, and nature of self-hypnosis practice. In the results, data were available for 144 patients in this patient self-selected and uncontrolled observation. Compared with self-reports before learning self-hypnosis, children and youths who learned self-hypnosis for recurrent headaches reported reduction in frequency of headaches from an average of 4.5 per week to 1.4 per week, reduction in intensity from an average of 10.3 to 4.7, and reduction in average duration from 23.6 hours to 3 hours. There were no adverse side effects of self-hypnosis. The study concluded training in self-hypnosis is associated with significant improvement of chronic recurrent headaches in children and adolescents. In a long-term follow-up of this study, years after treatment, 85% reported continued relief with self-hypnosis, 44% reported decreased headache frequency, 31% noted decreased severity, and 56% reported that self-hypnosis reduced headache intensity. Many, 26 out of the 52 participants, emphasised the value of self-hypnosis to life stresses. In children and adolescents, self-hypnosis is associated with significant improvement of headaches and with an enduring positive effect for many years following training. Results suggest common and spontaneous generalizability of self-hypnosis by young people to modulation of other problems in their lives.